Viewers, welcome back to today's new video. Okay, so now today discuss it word said Orientalism. Okay, then Gayatri Chakraborty is by work. Subaltern studies, then Humike Baba hybridity, mimicry and ambivalence. Then transphenon, colonial psychology and violence. Key terms: nation, diaspora, molecular socialism, negritude and otherness. Okay, now first clear the word said Orientalism. So what is Orientalism? A way which the West Europe, Africa, okay, imagined East Asia and Middle East and inferior, a system of stereotype, not truth. Okay, a system of stereotypes. Okay, that is the called Orientalism. Okay, that is an stereotype that is just focus on area or a particular boundary. Okay, then the main idea, power and knowledge. What the West wrote about the East gave them power, control it. Then othering is West civilized and rational. Then the East exotic and emotional and dangerous background. Then the East becomes construction, not reality, but Western imagination. Why important? It exposes how colonialism controlled people not only by armies but book, media and scholarship. Okay, so how colonialism कैसे control करता है that time, not only by armies but books and media as well as everything. Okay, then example, media shown by mythical, chaotic and British writing. Okay, then the middle is shown a violent and sensual. Okay, then the Gayatri Chakraborty is by subaltern studies. What is subaltern? People so appear oppressed that they cannot speak are not poor head. Okay, that is the subaltern. And tribal uh, people, poor women, Dalits, enslaved people. Okay, major argument, can the subaltern speak? By Gayatri Chakraborty Spivak says they speak, but society never listens. Their voice filtered through elites, colonizers, scholars, and patriarchy. Okay, then the key concepts: representation and misrepresentation. Elites speaks, poor are poor, but never let them speak. Gender and colonialism. Gender plus colonialism. Women colonized societies suffer double oppression by patriarchy, by colonial rule. Intellectual responsibility. Scholars must not use subalterns just to write books. Example, Sati debate, British saved women. Indian elites defend tradition. The woman voice is absent. Okay. Unike Baba, hybridity and mimicry and ambivalence. Hybridity, when two cultures meets a mix between identity and created. Okay, not purely Indian or British. Indian English hybrid. For example, speaking English with Indian style. Okay, wearing kurta plus jeans. Okay, and Bollywood films mixing plus Western plus Indian style. Okay, why important? It breaks the purity of the colonizer's authority. Then mimicry, colonized people copy colonizers' dress and English education, for example, but they never become an exact topics. Okay, effect, it threatens the colonizer because mimicry is almost the same, not but quite. Okay, for example, Indians using perfect English, British become uncomfortable. Okay, now ambivalence. Colonial power is never stable, is mixed with fear, dependence, desire, and uncertainty. Then example, British wanted Indians to be educated, but feared they may start thinking independently. Okay, then the France phenomenon, colonial psychology and violence. Colonialism damages indigenous psychology. Colonized people begin with inferior, ugly, uncivilized, and dependent. Okay, this colonial mentality internalized racism and colonialized people try to imitate white norms, feel shame about their skin, language, and culture. Okay, decolonization is violent. Penon says colonial rules was violent, so freedom struggle becomes violent. He explains this in the rats of the earth. Okay, divided self. He explains in the black skin and the white marks. Okay, and black people forced wear to white marks, language, culture, and to survive. Key terms: nationalism by the Bhumike Baba. Okay, and a cultural and political community created through shared history, then shared myths, collective identity, post-colonial view. Nations are imagined communities and nation created after colonial rule. Okay, then diaspora, people who live outside their homeland but maintain emotional ties. Types: forced diaspora, slavery, and injured and voluntary. diaspora, migration, jobs, and education. For example, Indian diaspora in UK, US, and Caribbean. Okay, African diaspora in America. Then themes, homesickness. Okay, then identity confusion and cultural mixing and multiculturalism. Then multiple cultures living in the same society. For example, USA, UK, and Canada issue racism, immigration, cultural rights. Okay, then gratitude, a cultural movement of the black writers like Amnesty and Senghor. Okay, celebrates African identity, black pride, cultural roots and purpose. Fight against racism and colonial shame, otherness, process of treating and someone as different inferior, we colonizer versus the colonized. Example, British calling Indians uncivilized native. That is the unit 2, okay, exam oriented. Main idea explores the colonial shapes and the unity, identity, representation, culture, psychology, and resistance. Thank you so much for watching this video. Okay, that's it about the said Orientalism, then spyback, subaltern, Baba, mimicry. Okay, pen on psychological violence and colonialism. Okay, that's the core concept about this text. Nation, diaspora, multiculturalism, negritude, and awareness. If you like this video, please like, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for watching this video. Bye bye.